Hey guys, what's up? I wanted to talk to you guys about AR-15s chambered for 7.62 by 39 and their magazines. Particularly these magazines that you probably will hear about are magazines that are actually 10 round magazines with welded AK bottoms on the bottom of them, and they call them Franken mags. And I've heard they worked. I've never had one personally. I never used one. They look all right. I don't know how it would really look. Look probably something like that. I probably wouldn't do something like that because it doesn't appeal to me. But you do have an option out there to use standard AR mags. Well, they're not standard because they're not 223 mags. They're actually 6.5 Grendel, 6.8 SPC magazines. And the reason why some people will use these magazines because they like the look of it. You know, nobody really wants to hold on to a 10-round magazine. I mean, it's a little short. You know, if you want a 30-round magazine, you gotta get it. So this is what I'm going to talk to you about today. A lot of people think that you can use these 223, 5.56 mags, but the problem with these are that, first of all, they're aluminum, and these are stainless steel. This magazine's from C Products, and I don't know what this is. I've had this sitting around for a long time now. And so that's the first problem, that aluminum magazines will tend to bulge and swell when you load them up with ammunition. Particularly 7.62 by 39, you can only let up 5, and then it just swells way too much, and you can't do any more past that. If you do more past that, then they get stuck in there and you have a big problem. One of those contributing factors are because of these ribs in the side of the magazine right here. If you look at that and then compare it to that, you can see that this one's much more shallow than that one, and obviously it's on both sides. So those dimples actually take off some of the room inside, take out some of the width inside here, which actually makes a big difference. I mean, it could be only maybe a millimeter or two, but that millimeter or two on both sides adds up, and it actually takes away the room that you need for the rounds to sit properly in there. Now this one doesn't have those ribs. It actually has very light ribs in there, and when you have these ones with the less ribs in it, then it allows for the more room that the round needs, and it will allow them to stack neatly. And I've seen some guy on, I think he's on YouTube still, and he's also mentioned in the forum, he's able to load like 20 rounds in these 25 round 6.5 mags, and he's done 20. He cycles through them. It's on YouTube somewhere, and it's a 7.62 by 39 AR, and he goes through it. And I've only personally done 10 because in the state of California, you know, I don't want to get slapped with a hefty fine and then confiscate all my shit. I don't want that. So I keep it legal, and plus I don't have the springs for this. I have to use the spring from this one and just put it in there and put some kind of like a wood block. And so that's what I do, and it worked great, so it's fine. The common misconception is that these magazines will tend to jam and stuff like that. And that's true, because C Products didn't make this magazine for 7.62 by 39. They didn't make it for that caliber. This is for 6.5 Grendel and 6.8 SPC. All three of those share the same body on their 10-round mags. They're all the same. And in the 30s, or the 25-rounders, the 6.5 and the 6.8 share the same bodies, but they don't have one marketing with the name 7.62 by 39, probably for one reason that I've seen floating around forums, and that's that they don't think it's reliable. So they don't put their name behind it if they don't think it's reliable. And because of that, people wonder, well, why don't they just make a magazine that, you know, will fit? And what they do, they make one that's all curved and stuff, and it looks weird. But it's not appealing to me, but I'll show you right here real quick what it looks like. So that's it right there, and that's you can see the curve on that compared to standard 223. So you can see how it kicks out in the front right here. So C.A.R does make that magazine as well. But I've heard that those are flawless. They run flawlessly. I mean, you can find some information on forums and stuff. One other reason why this round doesn't sit too well in these aluminum body mags, or even you can only fit 20 in one of these, is because of this. You know what gun this is from. It's from an AK-47. I think VZ58s have pretty much identical magazines. They're slightly different. SKS is slightly different as well, but the curve is all the same in all of them, and that's because the round dictates the curve on the magazine. It's not a design look or anything like that. These gun makers, they make them, they were designed to function, and then they designed them to look a little better. I mean, at least now. Back in the day, they didn't do that. So here I got 210 stripper clips plus another single round here, and you can see the natural curve that the bullets want to take. And it wants to take that curve, and you can tell, you put this magazine up next to it, and it wants to follow that curve. So that's why the magazine is designed around it. And this is 20 rounds right here, but you know, when you double stack them, you can fit, you know, 30 rounds in here. So that's an important thing to notice, that you know, you just can't jam in rounds into this thing and hopefully it works. That's not going to happen. So you got to know what you're doing, you know. Use some common sense. I've been hunting around looking for different magazine options because I like the look of the 30, but I couldn't find it. 30 round 223 mags, you know, I couldn't find one that fit for my caliber. But then eventually I did find a little bit of information, and so I went and I got one. I just got the body though, so it looks good. And if you guys have any questions, I mean, if you have any questions about where to get these magazines, or you know, if you want to know about function, reliability, just let me know. Leave a comment below or PM me and I'll let you know. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I've heard C.A.R actually just went out of business not too long ago, and they, I think a new company picked them up. It's called ASC, I think. MOCS, something like that. And you can Google it up. I think their new website's up. It's pretty much the same products out there. So they should still have all their original lineup products, just a different name on the company. I think C.A.R is a great mag company, so I'm sure any of their mags are good, and I do recommend them. And I think 44 Mag is where I got this 10 round magazine. This was from C.A.R, and they're pretty good. They give you free shipping as well. And you know, this 10 round magazine, it works flawless. I've never had any mess ups. I mean, I just had to file down the nose up in the front, and you know, it was fine after that. Most of the gun, you know, if you have any feeding problems, it's not really the gun, because all the uppers have like M4 feeding wraps now. It's mainly the magazine if you have any problems. The magazine, the springs. I've heard 10 round magazines jam, whereas people run these, well, they run these 30s and there's no problem, but when they run their 10 223 mag, it has issues for some reason. So that's what I want to share with you guys. So like I said, if you got a question, just leave a comment below or PM me. Alright, I'll talk to you later.